So the other day someone asked me a question and I think that it merits making a video or a talk about that question, and especially about the mindset behind that question. So I think I'm gonna make this the first video of a new playlist that I'm thinking about, which I will call the playlist Author Pedro Cristobal's personal vblog, video blog, And whenever I feel like I want to talk about something which is related to me, but it merits making a good talk about it for many other people, I'm gonna put it in this playlist. So the question was, why do you call yourself an author if you don't have any published book yet on a shelf, in a bookstore, or being sold at the Amazon Kindle, anywhere. So why do you call yourself that? Why do you say, I am author Pedro Cristobal, if you're not selling books, basically? The problem with that question is that asking that question to an author or someone that already wrote a series but has not published any book or series yet, for sales, for that kind of stuff, is that asking that to that kind of person is the same thing as going to a park and asking the best basketball player in that park, why do you call yourself a basketball player, even though you're not in the NBA, and even though you have no idea, you really don't know if you're ever going to be in the NBA? Does that change the fact that that guy is a good basketball player that knows how to play basketball? Not at all. The guy plays basketball quite well, the guy enjoys it, so he is a basketball player, even if he's not a recognized one or a top one, or even someone who's making a living out of playing basketball. So you don't have to be, a part of this recognized top group in your category or in your hobby to be someone that is pretty good at it, to be someone that already does that, someone that has the full ability to do that, someone that knows it well, a plethora of things that when you put them together, you're someone that is, quite good at the category. And it is a category that gives you, joy, happiness, or just mere fun if you have it as a hobby. Just something interesting or something motivating for you personally. So you don't have to wait until there are like 1 million people following you because of how good you are at that category before you can call yourself, oh, I am that. And I think this mindset, which is, I think that way. I have been calling myself that. I have been saying I am an author for a long time, and I still don't have any book published yet. I have obviously done a lot of things. I wrote a full series, pretty much. I named The Matrix Revelations, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be much better story-wise and characters-wise than the new Matrix movie. And if you have any doubt about that, I'm gonna put the link there so you can read it before the new Matrix movie comes out, so you can see what I did. I did a bunch of other things. I did other fanfiction series. I did one for Naruto Shippuden, which is one of the most famous anime series in the whole world. So I did kind of like continuation for it, from my point of view, with another new protagonist that is related to the protagonist of the main series. I did like 50 episodes for that. I might leave the link to that here as well if anyone is interested. And right now I'm finally doing one of my original ones, which is Project H. Nowhere near done. I only have like 5 chapters done, and to be able to publish the first season, because I really think of it as series and seasons, but when I do it in book form, I do it as chapters. To be able to publish and finish the first one, I need to get to like chapter 23 or 24. Yeah, 24. and I only have like 5 or 6 done, so I'm nowhere near close. But you know, that doesn't change the fact that I already can do that hobby, that skill. I already feel pretty good at it, really good at it, very confident about it. I have great imagination for it. Not being one of the people that is already recognized, I mean, not being Dan Brown or J.K. Rowling or anyone in that category doesn't mean that you are not an author already. So it's something that it's confused very much, more for the artistic people, maybe for the creative people, because in sports, if someone sees you playing baseball really well, even if you're a nobody in baseball, if someone sees you playing baseball really well, they can call you a baseball player, and they do see you as one. But in the art-related categories or fields, or the creative ones, most people don't see you as a real artist, as someone that is really good at it, unless you're someone that, you know, that made a great painting, or that is already being talked about, you know, in social media or even national TV, I don't know, as if you were the great one in that category. So it's a mindset that is not good at all to expand creativity, because, man, I don't mind. I don't flinch. If someone tells me, "No, you're not this because you don't have any published," try just ignore that. I know that I already am someone that writes well, someone that has great imagination for storytelling. So I don't flinch. I know what I am, and I know what I can do. But there are a lot of people, a lot of creative people that really have tremendous talent, that are gonna lose confidence in their talent because they are not recognized as such. They're not recognized as people who already do that, who are already capable of that, who are already that kind of person in that category. Because, you know, it's just the way it is. And most people, even family members, even people close to you in your own circle, don't see you as such, especially in the arts, unless you're already an artist that is making it big. You know, like Picasso or this guy Michelangelo, Da Vinci, or in music, Mozart, those kind of people. I mean, you can be extremely good and not be the top genius, and you can still be really, 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 really good. We see that in TV series and a bunch of things in entertainment. I mean, some of my favorite movies, I'm sure they're not the top 10 movies or something like that. Especially if we talk to the critics. If we talk to the, you know, popular opinion, maybe they will agree more with me. But when you talk to the critics, it's somewhat different. So yes, this is what I wanted to say in this first video blog of, you know, personal opinions of mine, personal views, stuff I like to, you know, show about me and how I think. Yeah, whatever you are, you don't have to wait until you're someone famous at it, until you're someone super recognized at it, to be able to call yourself that. You know, I mean, this is not something that, if you're confident, this is not something that someone can change your mind about. You already know when you are that, when you have the skill, when you have what it takes to do that very well. And it is important to think that way and to see it that way, because I imagine, not just imagine, but I know that there are a lot of people with so much talent that probably allow themselves to be put down, or to lose confidence, or to feel like they're not as good or lower because they are not recognized by the ones around them as being good at that. You don't need to wait until you're, you know, until people are clapping because you're doing so great at it, to recognize that you have what it takes to do great at it, and to do great at it. It's and this is for every talent. This is for every skill. Do you think that you need to be Michael Phelps to be able to swim well? Not at all. If you already swim well and you already get good times, are you doing pretty well? Well, guess what? You can call yourself a swimmer. You're already a swimmer, someone that swims well. So you don't need to wait until you win the state competition to be what you already are. And you know if you are or not. This is not something that can be taken away from you, because if you are for real, you already have it. You have the skill, you have the talent, you have done it or you do it. It's in you already. It's part of who you are already. So that is why I call myself that, because I have already done a lot of it, a lot of planning for stories and books, a lot of writing. No, I am not published yet, but eventually I will be, obviously. So yeah, in conclusion, if you're already good at something, you don't have to wait to call yourself that until you're someone that is like a national TV because of that ability or because of that talent or that hobby or that skill, whatever it is. You don't have to wait. Let's say you are already, not just as a hobby, but maybe you're working in biology and you're a great biologist already, but you don't have a PhD or a master's degree on that yet. Are you gonna wait to call yourself a biologist until you get a PhD? That doesn't make sense to me. Or only, if you do, that will only say a lot about you not being confident about this ability that you have, this talent that you have. If you are, there is no problem with calling yourself a biologist before you get, whatever credential or anything else that you might think you need to be able to call yourself that. That's not the case. If you have the skill, you have it already. It's like with anything else. Like there are people, I used to be interested in that before. Right now, not really anymore. But there are people that are into game development and they make games, and maybe they're not working for one of the big companies. They're not making a living out of it. But if they already know how to make the game and they already know the programming, they already know all that stuff, and they do it well, and they have done it, and they do it, still do it, or something like that, they can call themselves a video game developer. Because guess what? They are one already. They might even be a good one, even though they are not publicly or nationally recognized at it. So it doesn't, not having recognition, not being in a position where you're making a living out of it, doesn't mean that you're not great at that. You need to keep that in mind, because it's the truth. It's the pure truth for any artistic or creative skill, or even for any intellectual skill. Anything where you have to create, where you have to maybe experiment or test. Imagine that. Imagine if an inventor had to wait to call himself or herself inventor until they do something like the iPhone or like the first light bulb, which those cases are extremely rare in history, like top 10. If you're not in that top 10, doesn't mean that you're not a great inventor already. So you have to have that mindset. If you already are or not. At the end of the day, deep down, you already know if you have what it takes or not, if you're already good at the ability or not. So you already know. You better than anyone else knows if you can call yourself that, if you're really that or not. And it would be so great if everyone thought like me about this, because you should not be afraid to call yourself good at this if you are good at that, especially if you can prove it. Like for me, I don't have anything published in a shelf at a library or a bookstore. I'm not making money out of it, but I already have a lot of stuff to show, and especially to show the good storytelling. Because in writing, I'm pretty good, but I'm not the best. But in storytelling, character building, the events that are happening, how each episode keeps getting better, I know I do well there. So I'm gonna leave links here, you know, because don't take my word for it. If you read it, then you're gonna see what it is like and what I did, what I do, what I still do as a hobby. So, and it is like that for any skill, any hobby, any talent, any ability. Don't wait to feel that you are that and that you're good at that until you're getting trophies and until people are calling you and I don't know, spamming your email address because they you know, because you're so great at that. Don't wait for that to feel, to know, and even to say. I mean, what? There's no problem with saying it. If someone doesn't believe you, doesn't change the fact that you already have that talent. It doesn't change it. So I hope that seeing me talk about it that way helps you, helps anyone that might have any skill that they maybe don't feel good about putting out there and talking about it because they are not Mozart or Beethoven or I don't know. If it is in sports, think about people that do amazing at your sport. You don't have to be that guy or that woman. If you're already good at it, even without trophies, you're already good at it. So you can call yourself that because you already are that. So, you know, it's the way it is. But I know that I'm sure that there are many people that probably lose a part of their confidence in their creative talent or in that skill that they like doing as a hobby, but that, you know, they're not a famous person in that yet. They lose part of their confidence in it because others don't see them as someone who is great at that, unless they are in that, you know, top 10 or top whatever, top 20, top 50 in the world at that, and already have all that media recognition and, you know, all the awards and all that. But don't let yourself be fooled by that. There are many people who don't have any of that and who are just as good as the ones that have it. And yeah, believe it or not, I do think that I want to eventually, you know, be able to publish something big, something great, and maybe do in my genre, my preferred genre, something amazing. I do want to do that. But there are people that really don't care about being famous or being known or getting claps, you know, and applause for what they are doing, and they still do it very well and they're really good. I think that happens in any creative field, really. In any field that requires, you know, like in inventors, programmers and developers in computer science, graphic designers. But I think it happens more maybe in painting and in drawing. There are so many people that draw so well with so much talent that don't have a YouTube following with, like, you know, one of these channels with 1 million subscribers, and they're not making a living of it, and they're still very good. Should they not be called a great artist? Of course not. They already are great artists. They don't need anyone to call them that. They don't need me to call them that, to be that, because they already are. So likewise, if you're good at something, let's say you're very good at, think of any sport, let's say tennis. If you already know that you're very good at it and you play it so well, even against other people at a high level, it doesn't matter if you're not Nadal or Federer, I think, or what's the other guy's name? The Djokovic, I think. There are a few more, but I forgot about them now. So I haven't been following that in a very long time. So you don't have to be those guys to be someone that is a tennist or a tennis player. I once met a racquetball player that won a competition, obviously someone that was way better than me at racquetball, and he never made a living out of it. He never, I mean, no one knows that he's that great except family members, and I am a family member, by the way, and friends and those close people. And it still gave me a lot of happiness, and believe me, that guy is a rackable player. So it's, and it is like that for any skill. It's like that for the creative ones as well. If you have the talent, you're already that. So be proud about it. Be glad. Be glad, because not everyone can say and know, oh, I am really good at this and very good at that, and say it. Not everyone can have that. So be glad about it. You're lucky that you already are. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that watching this, I don't know, raises your confidence or your drive in that hobby that you have, like I do it for mine. So if someone tells you, oh no, you're not that because you haven't, won by a landslide yet, or gotten the gold medal yet, or they're not talking about you in the channel about that in public television, don't worry. You know if you already are. Doesn't matter if you don't have any of that. So just be clear about what you already know, and never let anyone tell you, oh, what you already know, it's not what you already know. When you have a talent, you already have it. So you already are that. And that's it for today. For this is going to be the first video in this playlist, the first personal vblog for me, for author Pedro Cristobal. I hope you like it, and I hope it inspires you